All right, let's say you've been shopping for a house for a while, you finally go under contract and you're excited to get keys. You might be tempted to try to move up that closing date, but there's more moving pieces to the puzzle than you might be aware of. So I wanted to kind of share these with you in order of importance. The first and most important is going to be the processing team for that specific loan officer to make sure they have the capacity to move it up in the pipeline. What you don't want to do is end up taking keys from another timely closing that is on track because you're trying to squeeze yours in the day before or on the same day that they have that. So processing capacity is a huge one. The second thing, which is a little bit more common, is going to be the underwriting turn time, the queue time for getting that clear to close. If they need to review final conditions, now you're moving it up in their timeline. They had it set up for weeks on end, and now you're trying to move it up and bump it in front of other people. They may or may not have the capacity to do that. Thirdly, would be homeowners insurance. When you first get under contract, you get that policy. Keep in mind, it's effective for the date that you tell them you're closing when you begin the process. And it gets forgotten so often, right? If you're moving it up 3 days or a week and you forget to tell your homeowner's insurance to move up the effective date, last minute scramble, the insurance company might not respond. That could be the reason that you end up missing the closing date and just throwing a wrench in everything. Now, beyond that, you really do need to be mindful that all parties have to be in agreement. So the buyer's agent might be excited to close, you might be excited to close, the title company might be able to close, but if the seller's out of town or if they're on a trip or they're not comfortable moving up the closing for A, B, or C reason, that's going to be a huge issue. So what I see a lot and I hear through the grapevine is that they move up the closing without having permission from all parties. So a lot to consider. It's not as easy as just saying, hey, let's move up the date. If you have questions for any of your specific scenarios, feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the link below. Take care.